The English release, or well, pre-release of the One Piece TCG is finally here. So to help y'all out, I'm creating this guide to talk about the Super Prerelease Event, as well as the other events that will make up our starter deck meta. Let's talk about it. What's up, captains? Welcome back to The Other Decks. My name is Casual Dobo, and today we're going to be talking about the Super Pre-Release Event. I figured since this is supposed to be a quick guide / resource for all of the events leading up to the official release of the One Piece TCG, that I'd shorten the intro a little bit. But I will say that all of this info is based on the information that we have currently at the time of recording. So if there is any new updates or things that I might have gotten wrong, I'm going to post it as like a pinned comment down in the comments below. So if you want to see some of those, please check out the comments as well. And normally around this time in the video, I'd say if you're enjoying the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to the channel. But I'll add a little bit of a new thing to there. If you find this video helpful, share it with a friend. The more people we get interested in the game, the more the game is going to grow. But anyway, I promised this would be quick, so here we go. Let's hop right into the event information. Alright, and so the big thing that we want to talk about is actually the Super Pre-Release Event itself. So this will be happening at your local game stores between September 30th to October 6th. Now, what exactly does this event entail? Well, it's actually going to be a starter deck tournament. So you'll have the ability to buy one of the starter decks, and that is actually the thing you're going to be using in the tournament itself. One starter deck right out of the box. I will say, as someone who goes to a lot of pre-release events for Digimon, which is another game I cover, pro tip, bring sleeves, especially for these because these are the Super Pre-Release Event versions of the starter decks. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's the difference between the Super Pre-Release version versus the normal version of the starter decks? Well, one, there is an alternate art version of the leader cards, so Luffy, Kid, Crocodile, and Kaido all have different artwork, and then also all of the cards have the Super Pre-Release stamp on it, which means this is officially the rarest version of Karoo you're ever going to get. That one's for all the Duck meta fans. But you will be using one of these starter decks for the tournament itself. Now, at this time, you'll also have the ability to buy one of each starter deck, and yes, they are going to limit you to one of each type. So obviously, this kind of depends on, the store that you go to and how many people registered for the event. But essentially, you might be able to come out with a Luffy, a Kid, a Crocodile, and a Kaido starter deck. Now, real quick, here's an important date that you'll want to remember if you want to join these events. September 16th. September 16th is a date where people can start to go onto Bandai's TCG Plus and actually sign up for these events. And the webpage does recommend that you do sign up through TCG Plus. However, the reality of things is that some stores might be doing their own sort of signups, so if you are interested, make sure you hit up your local game stores, see what system they're trying to use. And so there it is. That is the One Piece TCG's Super Pre-Release Event. But there's more. Now, at the beginning of this video, as well as, in some of the other deck breakdowns that I've done on the One Piece TCG, you might have heard me refer to the starter deck meta. And what I mean by that is that it is the period between the Super Pre-Release, when we have the starter deck cards, and then the actual release when we get the, original normal starter decks, as well as OP01 Romance Dawn. And Bandai is actually putting together a competitive event for the starter decks, and they are called the Deck Limited Battles. Now, this will be an online-based event that will have different pricing we don't know about yet, but essentially you get to compete with your Super Pre-Release deck or cards to win. A quick note about deck building for this, obviously it is a 50-card deck, but it's made up of cards from the Super Pre-Release starter decks, so you do need to have essentially that Super Pre-Release stamp on those cards. But based on the wording here, it does seem like if you were able to get your hands on like 2 Kid starter decks, you can make a new deck from all of those. So obviously if you've played Digimon, you've seen Digimon starter decks, they limit some of the best cards from it. Same thing for the One Piece TCG starter decks. Like a lot of the super rares are only 2 of, when you can have a maximum of 4 in a deck. So it looks like we should be able to, if you acquire the rest of those cards, you can, put 4 of the super rares in there. They don't have to be the exact builds out of the box. The promo pack cards are also allowed in these decks. However, demo deck cards are not. So if you went to any of the demo events, those are not tournament legal. And then once again, you do have to sign up through Bandai's TCG Plus in order to go to these events. But that application process is, the information is still being released. And interesting enough, the pricing is actually different than the Super Prerelease Event, so that's pretty cool. I'm not going to speculate what that pricing might be in this video, but if you do follow, the Japanese meta, you could see some of those cards that were used as pricing there and see them in here. But we'll have to wait and see until, the English version, the English website releases that information. So yeah, that's all the information we know about the Super Prerelease Event as well as the deck limited battles. For those of us who have been following the game since it came to Japan, I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we're super excited to have these events, and I'm pretty excited about this online battle that Bandai is putting on so that we can see some competitive gameplay for the starter decks, because those decks are actually pretty good. My plan is to do a revamp of the starter deck reviews and talk about some of the pros and cons of each one. That way you have enough information to go into these tournaments and feel confident in what you're playing. But if you don't want to wait for those, I have done some, light reviews, some optimized deck lists for this based on the Japanese meta. So you can go ahead and check out my channel for those. As a quick note, the Crocodile and Kid ones have one extra card because I was misreading the website I was using, so I do apologize for that. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. I'm happy to answer any and all questions. I'm pretty active when it comes to, responding to chat. I know that's like a Twitch term, but responding to the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel, as we're going to be covering more One Piece TCG, especially as it gets rolled out in English, as well as continuing to follow the Japanese meta. Also, if a friend shared this video with you and you're now interested in One Piece, let me know in the comments below. Shout out your friend, because that's awesome. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me, so thank you so much for watching, really appreciate it, and captains, remember, build what you like, play what you love. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.